The Galactic Council had always viewed humanity with a mixture of curiosity and condescension. Captain Blake Morrison of the Terran Defense Force understood this sentiment well as he stood on the bridge of the diplomatic vessel Harmony, watching the alien delegates arrive for what they believed would be another routine negotiation. The reptilian Vextai considered humans barely above primitive status, while the crystalline ethereals saw them as useful, but ultimately expendable allies. "Captain, we're receiving multiple hostile signatures on long-range sensors," reported Lieutenant Commander Hayes, her fingers dancing across the holographic display. "Looks like the Dominion fleet has arrived earlier than expected." Morrison nodded grimly. The Korath Dominion had been expanding aggressively through this sector, consuming worlds and enslaving populations. 3 human colonies had already fallen to their relentless advance, and the Galactic Council had proven frustratingly ineffective in mounting any meaningful resistance. "Sir, the Council vessels are requesting immediate evacuation," Hayes continued. "They're saying their defense fleet can't handle a Dominion assault of this magnitude." Through the viewport, Morrison could see the sleek Council ships already beginning their retreat. The Vextai dreadnoughts, with their distinctive curved hulls, were powering up their faster-than-light drives. The ethereal crystalline vessels had begun their harmonic resonance patterns that preceded their dimensional jumps. 37 Dominion warships confirmed, announced Ensign Park from the tactical station, including 4 heavy cruisers and what appears to be a planetary bombardment vessel. Morrison activated his communication array. "This is Captain Morrison to all Council vessels. We respectfully request you remain in formation for a coordinated defense." The response came swiftly from Ambassador Veltar of the Vextai. "Captain Morrison, your species lacks the military capability to engage a force of this magnitude. We suggest immediate withdrawal to preserve what forces remain." "We appreciate your concern, Ambassador," Morrison replied, his voice steady despite the approaching storm. "However, we have a different perspective on this situation." The ethereal representative's voice chimed through the comm system like singing crystal. "The mathematical probability of successful resistance is approximately 0.03%. Logic dictates retreat." Morrison exchanged glances with his crew. They had all been briefed on this moment, though none had expected it to come so soon. "All stations, initiate Protocol 7. Hayes raised an eyebrow. "Sir, are you certain?" "The die is cast, Commander." "Send the signal." Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a facility that had remained hidden for over 2 decades, massive systems began to activate. The structure, built into an oceanic trench and camouflaged by advanced stealth technology, had been humanity's greatest secret. Project Leviathan had consumed resources from every nation on Earth, representing the combined efforts of humanity's finest engineers, scientists, and military strategists. The water above began to churn and bubble as displacement fields activated. Emergency protocols engaged across every coastal monitoring station on Earth, but the signals were already being suppressed by quantum encryption networks in space. The Dominion fleet had arranged itself in a classic hammer and anvil formation, preparing to crush the small human diplomatic vessel while the Council forces fled. Admiral Korth, the Dominion's supreme commander, had conquered 43 worlds using this exact tactical approach. "Human vessel, you will surrender immediately or face annihilation," came the transmission from the Dominion flagship. Morrison simply smiled. "Negative, Admiral. We have a counter-proposal." The ocean's surface erupted. Rising from the depths came a vessel that defied every assumption. The galaxy held about human technology. The UHNS Prometheus measured nearly 12 kilometers in length, its hull bristling with weapon systems that incorporated technology reverse-engineered from dozens of alien conflicts. Fusion reactors the size of city blocks powered defensive shields that shimmered with exotic energy patterns. The supercarrier's emergence sent shockwaves through space itself. Water cascaded from its massive hull as it continued its ascent, revealing launch bays that could house entire fleets. The ship's profile was distinctly human in its aggressive, angular design, but the technology was beyond anything the galaxy had seen from Earth. "Impossible," whispered Ambassador Veltar as his ship's sensors struggled to process the readings. The humans possessed no such capability. The ethereal representative's harmonic voice had risen to a shriek of disbelief. "The energy signatures are off all known scales. How did they conceal this from our deep space monitoring?" Admiral Korth's confidence wavered as his tactical officers reported the readings. "Sir, that vessel is larger than our entire fleet combined. And those weapon signatures?" The Prometheus had fully breached the atmosphere now, its massive bulk casting shadows across the diplomatic vessels. Launch bays opened like the maw of some primordial beast, and fighters began pouring out in impossible numbers. Each small craft moved with precision that suggested advanced artificial intelligence, while their weapons systems glowed with the distinctive blue-white energy of matter-antimatter annihilation. "This is Admiral Jones aboard the UHNS Prometheus," came a new voice across all channels. "Dominion Fleet, you are ordered to withdraw immediately from Terran space." Morrison felt a surge of pride as he watched the massive carrier deploy its full complement. Over 3,000 fighters, each one a technological marvel that incorporated lessons learned from every alien encounter humanity had experienced. The Dominion Admiral's response came through gritted teeth. "You cannot intimidate the Korath Dominion with a single vessel, regardless of size." "Admiral," came Jones's patient reply, "you're not facing a single vessel." The space around the Prometheus began to shimmer and distort. One by one, additional shapes began to decloak. Smaller carriers, each still massive by galactic standards, appeared throughout the system. Destroyers equipped with weapons that bent the laws of physics as the galaxy understood them. Cruisers that incorporated stealth technology so advanced they appeared to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. The human fleet numbered over 200 ships, each one representing decades of secret development and preparation. The galaxy had watched Earth's public space program with amusement, never realizing that humanity's real efforts were hidden beneath the waves and in the dark. Between stars. Ambassador Veltar's voice was barely a whisper. "How long have they been preparing for this?" Morrison's reply carried across all frequencies, his voice filled with quiet determination. "Since the day we first looked up at the stars and wondered who else might be out there. Humanity has always believed in preparing for the worst while hoping for the best." The Dominion fleet began its retreat, their formation crumbling as they faced an enemy they had never imagined possible. The galaxy would never again look at humanity the same way. The age of underestimation had ended.